Mays of Pandora's Motorsports. I am here with Simon Thomas of Two Ride the World, as well as Matt Welch, the GM here at Pandora's. And Simon and I, as well as his wife Lisa, have just returned back from about a 5,000-mile trip to Arizona and back here to Chattanooga, Tennessee, where we put a lot of road miles on, as well as quite a bit of dirt. And I was running some Heidendal tires, and they were, as usual, running their Continental TKC 80s. Interesting revelations resulted from this ride.
I am so going to enjoy this. Revelation being?
I was wrong. He was right. Oh, jeez. Okay,
didn't it?
We can edit that out. So, seriously, I put the Heidendals on mine. It's the first time I'd ever run the Heidendal tire because I had been told, you get more life out of them, and that's something that I felt like I needed, especially for the potential that we were going to Baja, which would have added another, 1,500 miles probably at least to the trip. And so I was wanting something that had some good bite, but also had longevity. But
we also knew the trip was going to be multi-terrain, so we're looking at going from North Carolina, riding fairly quickly across to Arizona for the 2019 Overland Expo West event, and then returning all the way back to North Carolina. We're in Chattanooga right now.
But with the potential of hitting Baja
as well
on the way.
Now Lisa and I we've been reporting for quite a while that the TKC 80s are a great tire. Now a lot of people will say yes, they are. It's been around for a while. The technology is set and secure. They're wonderfully predictable. But the one observation that keeps coming back is, boy, I'm only getting 2,000, 3,000 miles out of a set of TKC 80s. Lisa and I are coming back with, we are regularly getting 5, 6, 7,000 miles out of a rear. And I know that gets met with a heavy degree of skepticism.
And to be fair, he's running a 1200 2016? Is that what
yeah,
yours?
2015.
And I've got a 2018, both liquid cooled, virtually the same motor, but there are some differences between our bikes.
But just to be clear, we've got 4,500 miles from the beginning of this trip to shooting this video now, and it's fair to say that we've all looked at the rear and it still has an easy 1,000 miles left.
Anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500, depending on how far you go, yeah.
So I think,
based on what it's wearing.
I think the question here is
why?
Well, I think before we get to why, when me and David have the opportunity to go ride motorcycles, it's a day, it's a couple of days.
Sure.
Are you guys not, given what you do, putting yourself in the position of being potentially easier on the motorcycles, trying to save equipment in general, obviously the tires as well?
So is our riding style exaggerating the length of the tire?
And I'm just asking because I know when like I say, when me and David go,
we're also not laden either.
We're not.
We have no bags,
but
we're on it.
But you're on the gas, right?
Yeah, and we're not 1,000 miles from anywhere that may be able to help us. I've got Ken to call.
Yeah.
No,
it's a fair question. Normally, Lisa and I, we're on our own. We're in remote locations. We have to prioritize getting A to B as safely and sometimes as slowly as possible, because no one's coming to rescue us.
Right.
There's no points for speed. There's no points for style. We're looking at getting A to B, looking after ourselves and after our bikes, and I'm sure that has a large part to play in it.
I have to be honest.
Okay.
That's what I have always thought.
Yes.
Until this happened, and then I got really confused.
Okay, so we've been running Woody's wheels on our new motorcycles, the R1200 GSA liquid cooled, and this is F800.
From the beginning.
From the beginning. But we've just ridden, as I said, 5,000 miles. At any point, were we dawdling?
No.
I mean, how would you describe our riding style in the last 3 weeks?
It's 75, 80 on the highways and not slow on the non-pavement.
Are we pulling away from lights gently?
You're pulling away from me gently. No, not really. No. They don't pull away from lights generally. They don't pull away from anything generally. They're on the throttle.
Off-road?
Same way, and including even fishtailing and stuff like that. And that's where I became very confused, because your wear was not indicative of what all of us tend to get.
But it's interesting, going back to your question, in that yes, that has some validity. But in the last 2.5, 3 years, because full disclosure, we are now supported and sponsored by Conti. Well, what that actually means is I've gone from 80 or 90 brake horsepower on the 1150 to 125. It also means that, as anyone would, we are now a lot less considered with our tire life, because if we burn through them, I can make a phone call and go, hey guys, I need another set. And that is a fantastically lucky position to be in. So the answer to your question is, certainly in the last 3 years, our riding style is not cautious. And it's wonderful that we can be less cautious. I mean, we're still careful, obviously, but as anyone would be. But no, our riding style on-road and off-road is not cautious. And again, this goes back to tire pressure. I know that Lisa and I are much more aware of tire pressure.
So this is fair, because you brought this up to me probably 6 months ago, and because of all the tires I've used, and I've used Midas, the TKC 80, the 70, the TKC 70, now the Heidendahl, the Anarchy Wild, the Anarchy 3.
You have a lot of tire experience.
And I keep going back to the TKC 80 because of the type riding that we do around here, which is, as much dirt and gravel and rock as possible.
Which is what we enjoy doing.
That's what we enjoy.
We make a compromise with tires and put up with the mileage and the cost.
And that's the thing.
So,
it's like,
yeah.
I know I'm going to get crappy mileage, but I love the tire.
Right.
And
But 6
because
months
it's
ago,
predictable. He said 6 months. Well, what tire pressures are you running? And I think I was running 30, 39, and 36. I think is what I was running. And he said, you're going to need to run higher than that,
especially
on the road, and especially fully loaded. So when I was on the road, I started pumping it to 42 in the rear, and I think 38 or 39. I think 39 on the front. And that added anywhere from 6 to 1,000 miles right there.
But you also told me that you started monitoring your tire pressure
religiously,
more frequently.
Yeah. And the other thing I noticed is...
But wait, how many miles do you think you get more now?
Anywhere from 750 to 1,000 than I was getting before. So that's a huge difference right there. I was getting about 3,000, and then this last set I got about 3,750 to 4,000. And I actually haven't even burned it off yet. I've still got some left. Because I put the Heidendahls on because I knew they wouldn't last me all the way there and back. So there's still a little left. So yeah, that part was surprising.
I mean, one of the other things that I would love to talk about just briefly, and bring Matt in on this, something that not a lot of people are aware of right now, with the Continental tires, they also have a roadside assistance plan. And I do not understand why Conti are not shouting this from the rooftops. Basically, you buy a front and a rear, or a set, and you go online, and apparently you go to totalconfidence-plan.com, or telephone 888-9906-125. You offer them proof of purchase, and you get 3 years worth of roadside assistance.
That's unheard of. I mean...
And I don't know how many tires I have bought of Continentals over the past 5 years, and I never knew it.
You have a flat in the USA or Canada. You make a phone call. They will take you home or take you to the nearest tire repair center if they cannot repair it by the side of the road for free for up to 3 years.
That's impressive.
That means even if you're running a Conti on the rear and something else in the front, if the flat is on the rear, irrespective of what the front tire is, they will honor it, come and get you home. And that has to be a lot more fun than pulling out the repair kit by the side of the road as traffic buzzes your head whilst you try and fix stuff.
Yeah, and it certainly makes the TKC 70, for those who don't go off-road,
And that's what I was about to say.
very strong, a very strong option.
It's appealing.
It's very appealing.
And as we know, I mean, tires are a compromise.
Sure.
And yeah, you're going to go up mileage and gain traction off-road, but to your point, the TKC 70 is a little more road, a little less off-road.
Sure.
Perfect for the guy who's, you know, riding the thing to work throughout the week and then wants to go hit some gravel roads and stuff on the weekend.
Yep.
We've had these tires, I mean, you know, we go ride the things on a single track, and this is, you know, tires like this is
So
what
far, of all
allows
the
us to
tires
do
that I've used, it's still my preferred tire.
Right.
So, if I had an
So-
unlimited budget, I would never run anything else.
But it's great to know. I mean, as I said, watch the tire pressure, up the tire pressure a little, you're going to get 500 to 1,000 miles extra from the rear. That is substantial.
And I definitely do not go light on the throttle.
We also think that throwing in a set of Woody's wheels has a huge effect in terms of the rolling mass, the weight, etc., etc. Either way, these little
And the
details
trueness.
and the trueness of the wheel set itself. But either way, you throw that in with the 3-year roadside assistance. It has to be a great option. And as I say, it's, for me personally, it's nice to have you come along and say, look, I know that what Simon's saying sounds too good to be true, but you've just seen it.
Yeah,
I'm not making this stuff
I was very
up.
surprised, yeah. It's cool to see with my own eyes that my bike, his bike, same engine, same, you know, basic use, and a significant difference in tire wear. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. Guys, that's all for us right now. We're going to head off and go ride some bikes. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers. For
Cheers.
now.
Thank you.